Hi there, my name is Catherine and this is my channel So Much Sewing. I'm filming this really early today. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm working from home today and so I want to get this filmed before I start my day, and then hopefully after work I'll have time to edit this and upload it to YouTube. Today I'm wearing my Wexford Carlisle mashup, which are both cashmerette patterns. They're both they're club patterns, so that they are only available if you do sign up to their monthly subscription, which you can buy month by month. If you decide that you don't want to do it one month, then you can cancel it and start up again the next month. So it's really quite flexible that way. And also they have put out some every month they put out a new free pattern for the club members, and they've put out some really useful patterns that I have used, both the Wexford for the dress part and the Carlisle for the sleeves. They've put out a what do you call it? I've forgotten the name of it, but it's a top that I have made, and I've also hacked that into a dress, so I've made that twice. I'm going to try and think of the name. The name's just completely escaped me, which is such a shame because I absolutely love it. It's this whole aging thing. Honestly, my brain is mush. Anyway, that's another story. And the latest one they've put out is the Avola, which is a slip dress or a cami pattern. And so I am going to put that one through its paces as well. So I guess where I'm going with this is that I have found the cashmerette monthly subscription, the monthly free patterns that they put out, I've found them really, really useful, and I've really enjoyed them. So for me, it's worth it. Today I am reviewing the Gabby dress from Fibremood. I've been talking about this. Some might say I've been banging on about it for a while now. So I thought that I wanted to give it a go. My original idea was that the beautiful fabric from the Dahlia Society November bespoke box, which is the I can never say that properly, which is the Australia, no it's not, I don't know what it is, but it's this amazing fabric. I will put a picture of it here, and the idea was that I would use it to make the Gabby dress from Fibremood. It's not going to work out that way. I've actually cut that fabric out in another pattern, which I was hoping to get made up before Christmas, but there's a bug. We've got so many bugs around at the moment, mosquitoes and midges and all sorts of things. My poor husband gets eaten alive by them, which is actually quite good because they leave me alone and they attack him. So that's pretty mercenary of me, isn't it? But yeah, so sorry, nasty bug. Where was I? Unfortunately, I'm not going to get that made up before Christmas. I've got it cut out, but I just know I don't have time to do it. Which is a big shame. I did really want to have that fabric as my Christmas Day dress this year, but it hasn't worked out that way. And that's okay, you know, we roll with the punches, don't we? My original thought was that this Fibremood Gabby dress would be my Christmas Day dress, but having made it up, that's not happening. This weekend, I've got a big weekend of doing the gardening and getting the place tidy and organized. So unfortunately, I really don't think I'm going to have much time for sewing this weekend. So this is probably my final make for the year. And what I have made is the Gabby dress from Fibremood. I made it out of a French silk that I got from Drapers here in New Zealand. It is this lovely, it's almost got a sort of a twill texture to it. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe not, the light might not be good enough, but it's very densely woven. It is slippery. It's not, you know, like a lightweight lining sort of a fabric, but it is, you know, it is, can you hear the rustle to it? But I think, you know, it's nice and structured, and I think it's, you know, very suitable for an outer garment. I've got some notes here because I want to stay on track. I want to make this a snappy little video. We've got so many videos to watch at the moment, haven't we? I just want to make this nice and short so it's easily digestible. I made a size 18 and I think that was the right fit for me. I found the instructions really good. I mean, they're not super hand-holdy, which I like because I don't like wading through, 25 pages of instructions. I understand that they're fantastic. That sort of instruction is fantastic for newer sewists. And so instructions that hold your hand are really useful. But, if you're just whizzing through and you want to just make something up, you've got a number of garments under your belt, you don't really need all that really in detail instruction. And so the Fibremood ones, they're nice and succinct, and there's great photos. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Fibremood instructions are really awesome. I made a toile in a fabric that I had purchased online a while ago that didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to look. It didn't look the way I thought it was going to look. So it's not a fabric that I'm going to wear. So I've used it for the toile. I might put a picture up here. It's pretty, to be honest, it's pretty ugly. But so I made the toile and I found that it fitted very nicely on the shoulder. The V sat nicely, the V neck. I didn't face the V neckline because it was just the toile, but it sat really nicely, so I was happy with that. I did lower the bust point by about 2.5 centimeters, which is that's an inch, I suppose. The pattern is obviously designed for someone a lot younger and more perky than I am, so I did have to lower that bust point. And the only other thing I found with the toile was that when I raised my arm, I felt that the sleeve was a little bit too tight. And the way the sleeve works is you've got an outer sleeve, which is, quite a large size, and then you've got a smaller inner sleeve. And what you do is you make the sleeves up separately, and then you put the inner sleeve inside the outer sleeve. And because the outer sleeve is much larger, so you run gathering stitches along the bottom of the sleeve, and you pull those in and gather those up and fit them to the inner sleeve hem. So that leaves a nice puff on the bottom, and then you run gathering stitches along the sleeve head and you gather that in. And so the inner sleeve, like I say, is a sort of a firm fit, a smaller fit, and the outer sleeve is more puffy. And so I did find, as I say, that it was just a little bit restrictive. And I don't have large arms. Obviously, I've lost a lot of weight and I do have some loose skin there, but my arms have never been particularly large, and I still don't, even with the excess skin there, I still don't think that my arms are overly large. So I guess that's one thing to sort of consider when you are making this dress. Your arms probably need to be reasonably slim. I know, I guess some of us like a puff sleeve because it might disguise that area. A lot of us are not keen on our upper arms when we get to, over 50. And so a puff sleeve might seem like a good option to sort of disguise that area, which it is. But in this case, the inner sleeve sort of does restrict that to people with smaller arms. But what I did is I really liked the way it looked. So I actually just made another sleeve to put on the other side of my toile to balance me up. And I made it with using a knit fabric on the inner sleeve. And so the outer sleeve was my main fabric and the inner sleeve was a knit fabric. And I just cut it the same size as the pattern piece. The inner sleeve, I cut that the same size as the pattern piece. And I feel like that worked really, really well. I gathered the main fabric, as before, along the bottom hemline and along the top, attached them together and put them on my toile. And I just feel like I've got a much better range of motion Now, I think that putting the knit inner lining was definitely the way to go. And if I make this dress again, I'm going to do that again. And in fact, I've decided that I absolutely love the sleeve, and I'm going to put the sleeve on everything I make from now on. Well, maybe not everything I make, but I'm going to use that sleeve again because I absolutely love it. It's so comfortable to wear with having that knit inner, and I just love puffs at the moment. I did find that the pockets sat really low on the dress. I'm short, I'm 5'3", something like that, 163 centimeters. So I did find the pockets sat really low on the dress. I should have checked that before I sewed it all up, so I can't complain about that. So the neckline though, I had issues with the neckline. On the toile, there wasn't any problem at all. It's, it did sit quite high, it sat flat to my chest, there was no issues. But when I made my good fabric, I don't know, lowering the bust point, did it change the way it would sit here? I don't know, I wouldn't have thought so. But when I made my good dress, the neckline didn't go on well. I might have stretched it out, I suppose, as I was sewing it, but the facing just didn't sit right, and it bubbled, and it was horrible. So I took the facing off, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. So what I ended up doing, it was ruined. I just could not have worn the dress the way it was. It was such a bad job. And I, like I say, obviously it was my sewing, but there was just something really off about it. So what I did was I cut a rib knit band from the Sweet Cheeks sweater from the Pattern Emporium. I'll put a picture here of me in one I had made previously. So I cut that V-neck in a rib and fit it to the dress. It fit reasonably well. I actually ended up doing that twice. The first one was a bit of a schmozzle, but I recut a second neckline and I put it on my final dress, and it was a whole lot better. I managed to get it sitting a lot better. It sort of fit reasonably well, but I'm still not happy with the end result. Here's a close-up of the neckline. Can you see the bubble effect there? I'm just not really happy with it. But it's also not just the neckline that I'm disappointed with. It's the overall, I feel like the fabric's very heavy. I feel like this colour here doesn't really suit me, and so I just think the overall look is a bit too heavy. I do like the dress, I really do. I really want to love the dress. If it was made in a different fabric, perhaps that would be okay. I just do love these sleeves so much, and putting the knit on the inside was genius, even if I do say so myself. So that part of it I really like. I love the sleeves, but overall, unfortunately, the dress is it's just not working for me. I don't know what happened. I'm so disappointed. I feel like I can't wear this dress. I suppose from a distance it looks okay, but much and all as I do love the sleeve, love the sleeve, on this dress it was too long. They came down to here and I just feel like they were too long. So I have made these sleeves and put them onto another make, and I've made them shorter, and I think that's the way to go, to sit, they were sitting right down here on the crook of my elbow, so I've moved them to sit up here, and that looks a lot better. So I just think the overall look, it's just too heavy a look. The black, which I love black, and I think black suits me. So I don't, you know, that surprises me. I think this color here, this goldy color, is just not my color. I'm very cool coloring, and this is very warm. So I just think the overall color combination between that very dark, the black, and that goldy color is just too heavy for me. The long sleeves, it's very long. Again, all such a shame because it actually is so comfortable. Those sleeves are so comfortable. The dress will be very cool in our hot sticky summers. So I mean, all the separate components sort of seem like they would add up to a really great dress, but just the end result isn't doing it for me. I also am not happy about the placement of the pattern. I didn't really have quite enough fabric. I didn't put the godet in the front. There's a very big godet in the front, and they do say you can leave that out if you don't have enough fabric, and I did leave that out, but I'm wondering if I would put that in next time if I had enough fabric. But so the neckline is just cut. I don't like the way this sits under the neckline. And of course we've got a bit of sort of unfortunate spirograph print placement going on in the old chesticle area. So unfortunately this dress is a fail, as this dress is. But like I say, the components were all awesome, and in theory they should have all worked together. But for some reason it just didn't work, so I feel like it's a fail. I'm going to reuse this fabric. I think I'll make an Evola slip dress, or even just a cami. Maybe I can get a couple of camis, because this fabric will be amazing to wear under, you know, items of clothing. I like to wear a cami anyway to stop things sticking, and having a lovely silk cami will be so breathable and beautiful for the summertime. So I'm not mad about that. I'm mad about having wasted some time, because as I say, I wanted to get that beautiful Flora Australis fabric from the Dahlia Society bespoke box made into my Christmas day dress. So I am mad about losing a bit of time, but you know, I've learned a lot. I've got a great new sleeve pattern that I'm going to use in other makes. I say I've learned a lot. What did I learn? I probably don't know what I learned really. I just learned that didn't all work. So unfortunate, but not the end of the world. And like I say, don't let my experience put you off that Gabby dress, because I think it's a beautiful dress. The sleeves are amazing. I love that A-line shape to the dress. I think without the godet, I love that A-line shape, and with the godet, if it's in a very, very, very fluid drapey dress, I think that would look amazing. So I'm going to give that another go when I feel like I've got some more time. I am starting to panic about having nothing to wear over my Christmas holiday. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, that is my review of the Gabby dress. I hope it was not too garbled, and I hope you have an absolutely awesome Christmas break. I might get another video loaded before Christmas Day, but if I don't, thank you very much for being here, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Christmas with your loved ones. If you don't celebrate Christmas, then I just hope you have a wonderful holiday period. It's all about being with your family and being with your friends and relaxing. So I hope you get some relaxing done, and I hope you get lots of sewing done. Bye for now.